The top stories for you this morning. We begin with the political note. And after campaigning in Kericho County, President Uhuru Kenyatta today takes his campaigns to Bomet County, the home turf of Chama Cha Mashinani party leader and Governor Isaac Ruto. The President and Deputy President William Ruto will start their tour of the county in Chemanere. From Chemanere, the President and his deputy, together with other Jubilee leaders, will head to Sigor, Sotik, Kaplong, Chebole, and thereafter wind up their visit by addressing a public rally in Bomet town. Uhuru and Ruto are expected to drum support for Jubilee candidates led by Deputy Speaker Joyce Laboso. You remember a couple of weeks ago we did a story for you, the battlegrounds as we head towards August 8th general election. And Bomet was one of the reasons we actually, one of the areas we actually focused on, that battle between Joyce Laboso and the Governor Isaac Ruto. And we had analysts in studio, they were saying, look, this has really nothing to do with Joyce Laboso. This is basically between Deputy President William Ruto and Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto. So what sort of message are these two leaders going to give when they get on the ground? We have a team on the ground that will be telling us what the president and his deputy will say when they get there. And as Jubilee courts Bomet NASA leaders are expected to campaign in Meru and Tharaka Nithi counties, they will hold rallies in Chuka, Kairuni, Magutini, Kadhwana, Tunyai, and Kibuga. Our Chris Tairu is on the ground for us. Chris, good morning. Good to see you. The last time NASA flag bearer Raila Odinga was on the ground, he actually had very good welcome from the residents there. What are you hearing on the ground?
Well, a very good morning to you, Linda, and viewers. I'm in Chuka town, that is in Tharaka Nithi, and we're just awaiting the arrival of the NASA principals led by their presidential flag bearer and the ODM party leader Raila Odinga. A lot of activities here at Chuka town, and as we await, my cameraman, we can just spot some of the supporters here of NASA are wearing the orange caps and ready to welcome the NASA principals. Remember that of late, the Meru region has been, at least the NASA principals have been doing inroads in these regions, and they've been receiving a lot of support. We've been seeing when they come here, they receive a very nice welcome, and of course, crowds, of course, come out to at least listen to these principals. And of course, the two-day tour of the NASA principals in the Meru region, because tomorrow they will be in Meru County, and today they are traversing Tharaka Nithi County. Of course, it comes behind the backdrop of what we've been experiencing, or what we've been witnessing that has been transpiring behind the IEBC. And yesterday we saw the chairman Wafula Chebukati coming out strongly saying that they are not ready to cancel that tender. And we've not heard from the NASA principals. And of course, that will be one of the agendas that will be waiting here to listen. What will be their next course of action? Remember that they've been calling for the cancellation of that tender. And that is one of the issues, or one of the agendas that, of course, will be waiting for them to hear what they have to tell Kenyans and, of course, the residents here. Another agenda is what they need to do, or what they expect to do for the people of Meru County or Tharaka Nithi area. And of course, we know that here it's an agricultural area, and of course they depend largely on the Mira plantations. And of course, that is one of the issues that also will be expecting to hear from the NASA leaders, how they intend to ensure that the residents or the farmers here at least get that ready market for their cash crop.
Listen, apart from looking at what the area has potential for, I also do know that NASA may be capitalizing on Jubilee administration's development gaps. From where you sit, what are some of these gaps in the region?
Of course, there are so many issues that these residents have been asking for, and we can't say that the Jubilee government for the 4 years they've not done anything. But what we know, we have the national government, and of course we have the county government. There's that which the county government has done for the people here in Tharaka Nithi, and there's so much more expectations that they expect. And of course, what we know is that one of the main issues that they will be wanting to know is that these ready market for for the Meru plantation? Where will it come from? Remember that we saw the president giving around 2 billion shillings to the farmers here from Tharaka Nithi and of course Meru County to cater for that plantation. And on the side of the NASA principals, they've also, when they travel here, or when they come here, they promise that they are ready to go even outside to other countries and ensure that there is that ready market for their cash crop. Linda?
Chris, I would love to listen to the sentiments of the residents on the ground. I can see a couple of people behind you. Do you think you can grab 2 or 3 probably just to get the sentiments on what?
Let me try. Let me try.
Please try.
Yes, actually, I have one here. Habari yako. Kwa leo tunajua viongozi wa NASA wanakuja. Matarajio yako ni yapi? Naam, matarajio yako ni yapi?
Sitarajia kuja ongea na sisi atuambie vile anataka. Na kitu atuombe kura na afanye vile anataka na tusaidie, kama anataka tusaidiane. Ni
maswala yapi ambayo ungetaka wazungumzie viongozi wa NASA?
Wazungumzie wa viongozi, si wakuje wote tusaidiane. Na wafanye hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi tujuane. Hatuwajui na hatujuani, tunawaona tu kwa TV.
Well, let me try and grab. They seem to be scared of the camera, but let me try and get one of them here.
Let's try.
Ndugu, tuambie majina yako na utueleze viongozi wa NASA wakikuja hapa unatarajia wazungumzie masuala yapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Nicholas Kitonga. Hapa naona matarajio kubwa tukingonja wiki hawa viongozi wa NASA. Hapa kwa wengi wananchi hapa sana hawapendi hiyo. Lakini wakati huu naona mchanganyiko umekuwa mwingi. Tunatarajia aseme maneno mengi ambayo atatenda akipata serikali, lakini hatutarajii anje ile kawaida yao matusi, hiyo ndio watutaki hapa. Lakini akija anene maneno ya maendeleo hapa tutakaribisha na tukojee, maana viongozi wote wako na haki ya kuzungumza kila popote Kenya hii. Yeah.
Asante. Well, Linda, those are some of the expectations of the residents here, but they seem to be afraid of the camera and they're shying away from the camera. But of course, we'll keep on waiting for the leaders here to arrive. And of course, great expectations here even from the locals. And even as we await to hear what the leaders of NASA have for the locals, Linda.
Yeah, it will be interesting, and I think most probably they will touch a little bit on that ballot printing tender that it has both leaders from both sides just basically standing their ground. Yesterday we heard from Wafula Chebukati. He says IEBC really cannot cancel this tender. They do not have time. The deal has been signed. You had NASA on the other hand saying you need to cancel this tender. So which way is this going to go? Chris, thank you for speaking to me. Chris, thank you for speaking to me. But then, listen, let's look a little bit into the political dynamics in the region. NASA, in the 2013 general election, did not get the numbers that they sort of hoped they would get in that election. Do you see a difference in this particular election?
Remember that, Linda, in Meru County, the ODM party at least managed to get 2 members of parliament. And having at least 2 members of parliament, at least they had 15% the presidential vote. And coming from what they had last time, since 2013 up to now, what we've seen is that the NASA principals have been doing inroads into Tharaka Nithi and Meru counties. And of late we saw there was a video that has been going rounds in the social media where the senator for Meru, Kiretu Murungi, and who is aspiring to be the Meru governor in this general election, of course, when he was trying to address people and trying to sell the Jubilee manifesto,
yeah,
there were those who heckled him, or those who started saying NASA. And of course, those are some of the indications that maybe NASA has, or maybe the opposition has done their homework well. They've made their inroads into this region, and let's wait and see whether their efforts will really translate to the much needed votes that they want. Linda,
Thairo, what do you think they have done right? Because in 2013, NASA did not get any votes from Tharaka Nithi, and like you mentioned the other day, Kiraitu Murungi was trying to address the residents there, and there was a chance of NASA. So what is this one thing that you think NASA has probably done right this time?
Of course, Linda, they might not have done that much, but coming from the fact that Tharaka Nithi and Meru counties, they are perceived to be Jubilee strongholds. Of course, we know the challenges that the Jubilee government has been facing. There's issues to do with the high cost of living, issues to do with the corruption issues. So the opposition has been actually capitalizing on these. When they come here, they actually try to tell the locals that when they get that much needed power that they are looking for, they will ensure that the high cost of living actually goes down. They'll also ensure that they fight corruption. Those are some of the promises that when they come here, they promise the locals. And of course, coming from the fact that these are perceived to be a Jubilee stronghold, the failures that the Jubilee is coming out, then opposition is trying to capitalize on their failures and trying to make inroads, and of course trying to get the much needed support that they need in this region. Linda,
let's see how that goes. Chris Thairu, thank you.